Welcome, ladies. Welcome to another video. I am excited for you to join me in today's video. Today we're speaking about how to go from being misunderstood to being magnetic, reputation repair and upgrade. So this video is so exciting and important to me because it was requested by a subscriber, and I thought how perfect and how fitting it is for this channel and for what it is that we are working on as we are doing inner work and being on our femininity journey and leveling up and doing personal development work. It makes sense that as we are doing all of this to be better and to level up, our reputation will be upgraded as a result. And if you are someone who maybe did some damage along the way, it makes sense that you would have to repair that reputation and then show up as an upgraded reputation to represent and show all this inner work that you've been doing, all this work that you've been doing to become a divine feminine woman. The request was so fitting, and I'm so grateful that she reached out and asked for this video. So if there's anybody watching that wants me to create a video on a specific topic, definitely feel free to reach out. As long as it fits the aesthetic of this channel, it's along what we're speaking about, femininity, personal development, and faith, I would definitely create it. I do want to say though, be patient with me when you make these requests, because I do have to take the time to record the video and then work with the editors so that I can get it out there and get this quality product out there for you. So request it, but also allow some time for me to create, get the video edited, and then I can post it for you. And also, if there's somebody out there that wants to start their YouTube channel, or if you're looking for editors, definitely reach out to me. I can refer the editors that I use. They are so amazing. They are so patient, so kind, so creative. The videos that they've edited, all the videos on my channel speak for themselves. So if you're looking for an editor or you want to start your channel, definitely reach out to me and I could forward the information. I would gladly share that information because I just love my editors. They're amazing to work with, and I know that you would love them as well. So now that we're done with the introduction, let us go into the video. So with this video, there will be 3 parts that we will discuss on how to repair and or upgrade your reputation. So the first part is to take ownership for whatever damage may have done or how you showed up in the past. Then the second part, we will speak about how to rebrand and level up. And then the third part will be what to do moving forward. So let's get started with part 1, which is taking ownership. So as we discussed on the introduction part of the video, as you've been working on yourself, doing inner work, leveling up, stepping more into your feminine energy, there's the old version of you that unfortunately may have shown up in ways that were not the greatest. And this could have just been because of immaturity, age, you just didn't know better. Sometimes when you don't have the wisdom, you just cannot show up as your best. Sometimes it's just influence from wrong people or, wrong content that you're consuming. Whatever it may have been, there's an old version of you that you may not be proud of, and you are simply no longer that person, or you're trying to step away from being that person. And unfortunately, some people may still be judging you as that old version of you. I do want to say, do not be ashamed of that old version of you, the version that didn't know better, the version of you that was younger and just didn't know better. We've all been there. Everybody has done something that they are not proud of. Everybody has done something that they wish they didn't do. Everybody makes mistakes. So whatever it is that you may have done, said, or acted in ways that painted you in not the greatest light, be sure that you are not punishing yourself for that version of you, because that will not help you. Instead, take ownership of that old version of you, who you were, and just accepting that you acted or said things that were not a good representation of you or who you are. The good news is that a reputation can always be fixed. You can do some control to change what you've done in the past, and focus on that rather than punishing yourself for things you've done in the past. So the first step on taking ownership is to distinguish between reputation repair or reputation upgrade. Which one is it that you are working on? Because sometimes you may not have done anything necessarily wrong, but you just want to show up as a more evolved, elevated, elegant version of you. And other times you may have done something that requires you to repair your reputation and then upgrade and show up as that upgraded version of you. So distinguish which one it is that you need to do. And then when you know what it is that you want to work on, there are 6 categories where reputation repair or upgrade will fall under. And as you are taking ownership of what it is that you have done or what it is that you need to repair or upgrade, identify which of these 6 areas you would need to work on. And it could be one area, it could be more, or it could be all 6. But when you identify what category you need to work on, that is what will help you be on the path of repairing and or upgrading your reputation, and you will repair and upgrade exactly what you need to repair and the correct thing, instead of trying one thing and that's not the right thing, another thing, and then you're just going in a circle trying to figure things out, and that's just going to leave you wasting time and just being exhausted. So these are the 6 categories. The first is trust, meaning people don't believe your words anymore. Second is reliability, where you may have shown up inconsistently, late, or unpredictable. Third is emotional safety, so people feel disrespected, dismissed, or manipulated by you. Next is integrity, your actions didn't match your values. Then the 5th is boundaries, so maybe you've been oversharing, overreacting, or just being a reactive person or showing poor judgment. And the 6th could be perception or image, where people have formed a story about you, even if it's not complete. So when you know which category or categories that you need to work on, this is what will guide you to repairing and upgrading the correct thing, so your reputation is where you want it to be. So for example, on reliability, let's say that you're someone who is known for being late, missing deadlines, and just being inconsistent in that way. Repairing would look like you working your calendar and being so disciplined with it so that you are not missing deadlines anymore, you are not late, and you are not inconsistent. Whereas upgrading your reputation would look like showing up with intention, being intentional with where you go, how you spend your time, what you are prioritizing, and those behaviors would be consistent with the growth that you're doing within yourself. Another example could be on the category of perception or image. So let's say, I'll give an example on being on this femininity journey. So let's say you are someone that had a reputation of being reactive, instantly in defense mode, going off on people, and all these things. Repair would look like avoiding drama, staying away from people who bring the toxicity out of you, and just not engaging in that. Whereas upgrading your reputation would look like creating boundaries that protect you so that you don't even have to go to a place of being reactive. Your boundaries instantly protect you. Your standards instantly protect you. They instantly repel toxic people without you having to say a word, because you just show up with your boundaries in place, and your boundaries talk for you silently without you having to use your words until it is necessary that you do. So that's an example of upgrading your reputation. You've upgraded your boundaries, you've upgraded your standards, and you now have a new perceived image of a woman who has strong boundaries that people know they cannot cross, strong boundaries that people know there will be consequences for crossing those boundaries, and those consequences no longer look like overreacting. Instead, they look like I will silently and quietly cut you out of my life and not engage or entertain your nonsense. And then one more thing that I want to mention on taking ownership is that as you are reflecting on what it is that you need to repair and what you need to upgrade based on the categories, or whatever else depending on the circumstances, start to evaluate what are facts versus what are stories. This means evaluate what you actually did or what you actually didn't do versus exaggerations, gossip, projections, or assumptions. Because when you're working with facts, again, this is what will help you truly address the real thing that you need to address. It will help you effectively rebuild your reputation or upgrade your reputation, because you're working on facts and not on assumptions or whatever other little details that are unnecessary to your reputation repair or upgrade. So an example I can give is, let's say that you're someone who has missed a lot of deadlines, and that's the fact of what you actually did do. Focus on that fact, because that is what will help you deal with the real cause of what do I need to do so I stop missing deadlines, so that I'm on time with everything that I do, and build people's trust by showing up as someone that will deliver quality work on time. That's focusing on facts, whereas focusing on stories would be telling yourself or people talking about you and saying things like, she's so unprofessional, she's lazy, she doesn't care. That's what I mean by don't focus on those stories, because those will direct you on the wrong path of repair and or upgrade in terms of your reputation. Whereas if you focus on the facts, you focus on what is it that's delaying me, what is it that's distracting me, what is it that I need to do, or how do I need to rearrange my calendar. And that is how you start to show up, and that is how you start to resolve the real issue, and not the things that are just additional distractions to get you off the right path. So I hope I explained that well, and I hope you got the examples of what I'm trying to say. And one more point on taking ownership is, let's say that what you need to repair about your reputation is, let's say that you hurt somebody, you caused some pain in some way, or it was just something that was very hurtful to the other person. Be sure that you are apologizing to the person and being sincere with that apology. People can tell when someone is apologizing just to apologize, and when they are apologizing with sincerity. So if you really want to repair your reputation, apologize with sincerity and take full ownership of what your contribution was. And I want to emphasize your contribution. Do not take ownership for things that were out of your control, things that were not your part, things that you did not add or contribute. Take ownership for your part, apologize for your part, be honest, sincere, and don't make excuses as you are apologizing. Don't be defensive as you are apologizing. Truly understand the impacts that you had on this person, that negative impacts that you had. Acknowledge it, let them know that you understand how it affected them, and then be sincere with that apology. That will help you repair the relationship that you had with this person, whether it's a friendship, a romantic relationship, or a coworker, or just whoever it is in your life. When you give true, honest, sincere apologies, that is the beginning, that is the first step, and that is how you will be on the path of repairing that relationship as well as repairing your reputation. Because that sincere apology will instantly speak to your maturity. That sincere apology will instantly speak to your growth and how much you care for this relationship with this person. Again, whether it's a friend, a coworker, or romantic partner, instantly it takes you a level up as someone that acknowledges when they hurt someone, versus someone that is okay with hurting somebody and acting like they don't care and just being a terrible person like that. And also, why I mentioned apologizing for your part in it is that it will stop you from over apologizing, self-betraying yourself, and just beating yourself up more for things that are not yours to take ownership for. It will also reduce self-hate and self-resentment, because you are not apologizing and taking responsibility and unintentionally punishing yourself for things that somebody else contributed to this situation or things that somebody else did. Instead, acknowledge your part, honor your part, be apologetic for your part, and then that is what will help you feel good about yourself while you are on this journey of repairing your reputation and repairing this relationship with this person that you care about. And also, it will save you time, because you will not spend time trying to fix things that are not yours to fix, and you will more focus on the things that are yours to fix, the things that you need to work on within yourself. As we mentioned, when you identify what it is that you need to work on within those categories that we discussed earlier, you are focused on facts, you're working on facts, and you're working on truth and things that are aligned to you, your path, your contribution, and not a full picture and other people's input that is not yours to fix. And this brings us to the second part of the video, which is the rebrand. And I love this part because I love speaking about rebranding, leveling up, healing, growing, glowing, and all these things. Because when you get wisdom and you are truly transforming within, there is nothing that compares to that and what your future will look like because of all this beautiful, amazing, transformative inner work that you are doing. So the first way to rebrand and level up is to start to identify the red flags or the patterns that are within you that you need to eliminate and let go of. As we discussed in the first part, when you know what it is you need to work on based on those 6 categories, you can identify your red flags, your patterns, and all these things that you need to stop doing, because those things will keep you stuck in that old version of who you no longer want to be. They will keep you operating in old habits that are no longer aligned to who you are trying to become and who you are working to become. Because the truth is, one-time mistakes rarely damage a reputation, however, patterns do. So it's time to break those old patterns, those old habits, and start to replace them with the habits that we want to embody, the patterns that we want to embody, the green flags that we want to build within ourselves, and then start to show up that way. When it comes to rebranding, think of how companies and businesses rebrand. When a company has a PR nightmare, like something goes wrong, they have a crisis, think of how they rebrand. They will have a PR person put out a message out there, which in your case is equivalent to the apology and taking ownership. And then they will go as far, some will go as far as changing their brand, changing their logo, changing their name, just showing up differently based on how they want to show up going forward. This is the same with you. You are your brand, and you have the power to upgrade your brand at any time. The moment that you decide enough is enough, going forward, we show up this way. Going forward, we are showing up as leveled up, as glowed up, and we are showing up in our divine feminine. You have the power to do that. And the day that you decide to do that, you will do that without any motivation, without any convincing. When you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, there is no video that will convince you to be sick and tired. You will just decide, I want to show up differently. I'm doing it now, and I'm not waiting for tomorrow. I'm not waiting for whatever. You will just start there and then. So your rebrand starts now, regardless of what happened in the past, regardless of how you've shown up in the past, regardless of how people in your current life are judging you or what they say. Your rebrand starts now. So how do you actually rebrand? The best way to do it is to decide what the rebranded, leveled up version of you looks like. What does the divine feminine version of you look like? And then start to show up that way. You decide what the rebranded version of you looks like. If you are tired of self-sabotaging your relationships and self-sabotaging your life, decide to rebrand by not doing those things anymore, and then start to show up in the opposite behavior. So if you're someone who was reactive, and when you're reacting and you're just speaking and saying all these things in the moment of anger, and you're ruining your relationships and friendships that way, start to show up differently from that. When you are triggered, stay silent, and then instead of reacting, respond. Instantly, your relationships will get better. If you are someone who's on your femininity journey, let's say you're so tired of operating in masculine energy and that has caused you a lot of stress, it's causing you to not be a person that is your dream version, start to do the opposite. Study what you in your divine feminine energy looks like, rebrand to show up as her, and instantly you will start to see the results of that. So for example, let's say that you're someone who used to be a party girl, or maybe you are a party girl and you're trying to change that reputation. Stop showing up as the version that's a party girl. Stop saying things that imply you are still a party girl, and start declining invites to the things that will keep you in the reputation as a party girl. When you show up opposite of that, people will start to believe you, because people believe changed behavior rather than words. This is why I gave the example of companies, because when companies rebrand and go to the extent of changing their logo, it's the changed behavior that you start to believe. It's like this whole new slate of a company, and it starts to build excitement for what is it that they're bringing? What is the new version of them like? What new products are they going to introduce? This is the same with you. You are your brand. When you level up, what new exciting things are you bringing? What can people start to experience that is positive, exciting, engaging, magnetic? That rebrand is what will keep people curious, and what will make people start to say, oh, we see the change and we are believing it, because we can actually see it. She's not just saying this, she actually took ownership of that apology and added changed behavior to it. So this is proof that she is a new version of herself. This is the divine feminine version of this woman, and we believe it because we can see the change, we hear the change, we are experiencing the change. When you rebrand, be sure that you embody the changed behavior, because people sense energy, people sense aura, and if you are faking the rebrand, it will be spoken in ways you may not be aware of, whether it's through your energy, your aura, or maybe one day you let your guard down and you start to speak in the old version ways of you. You start to say things that are the old version of you, and you will just reveal yourself in some way. So truly embrace the rebrand and start to embody that rebrand. Make it so authentic, genuine, and so aligned to who you want to become, because that is when it will stick. That is when people will feel that change, not just hear it or see it. They will feel it too, and that is where the true power of being magnetic will come from. And that is what will stop you from being misunderstood, because people feel, hear, and see it. And with changed behavior, another thing I want to say is it's so important that you are doing it for you. Be sure that you are not performing. When you decide to level up and rebrand your life and repair your reputation and upgrade it, do it for you, because if you're doing it for anybody else, again, it will not stick. You will come off inauthentic, and people will feel that inauthentic energy. People will know, and as I mentioned, you will reveal yourself at some point in some way. So why I wanted to repeat this is that when you are doing it for yourself, this is how you will be consistent, regardless of whether people are noticing this change, regardless of whether people are applauding this change, or whether this particular person that you are trying to show this changed version of you notices. When you do it for yourself, this is when you will be consistent regardless of anything external, and that is the best way to truly transform and truly repair and upgrade your reputation. The next point on the rebrand is to not force things. So as you start to work on yourself, after you've given this apology, you're working on your rebrand, give people time to adjust to this new version of you. Do not expect people to see or believe the change overnight, especially if that old version of you has been a habit for a long period of time. Allow people time to receive and accept this new version of you. Allow them to start to believe that this change is real, that this upgrade is real. And again, that will help you not step into performative behavior. Instead, you just continue being and operating in this divine version of who you are trying to become. And also, when you are forcing things, that will make people start to question whether what you are doing is sincere or not, because you forcing them is you trying to get an outcome and trying to control an outcome. Whereas if you are genuinely changing and just enjoying the transformation that's going on within yourself and within your life, you will be a lot more patient with people, and you will be more focused on the consistency rather than the intensity. Intensity will not give you the results you want. Consistency will. And why I want to emphasize this important point is that when you are not forcing things, this will stop you from getting into a stage of people pleasing and trying to perform to again get an outcome or force an outcome. If, for example, you are on the repair part of your reputation where you may have hurt somebody intentionally or unintentionally, and you're apologetic and you just want them to understand and see this changed version of you, if you are forcing it, this will lead you into operating in a state of lack, and it will bring you into people pleasing, where you will be performing to please this person, you will be performing to get an outcome or a response from this person. That is not a good place to be in. That will take away from you, and that will take away from the actual true results that are possible, the actual true forgiveness from this person, them actually noticing this changed behavior from you. It will take it away from you because you are performing and you are people pleasing and you're doing things to get a reaction from them. And also, when you are people pleasing, this will keep you in low vibration, which again would take away from your feminine energy. It will take away from your high divine energy, because when you're vibrating low, nothing good comes from that. Your thoughts will be negative. Why have they not forgiven me yet? Why can't they see that I've changed? Why this, why that? And that is not a good mental or emotional space to be in. Instead, give yourself grace. And this is why I keep repeating of being authentic, because when you authentically apologize, when you are authentically changing, when you are authentically doing things because you are sincere in what you are doing, this is what will give you the peace to say, if this person does not see what I'm doing, if this person does not want to receive what I've done so far, that is on them. I've given everything I can and then some. I cannot make them see that I've changed. I cannot make them believe. That is on them to do and not yours to do. All you can do is what you have control over, and what you have control over is yourself, not the response, the reaction, or the beliefs of somebody else. Trying to control somebody else's belief, again, will keep you in low vibration. It will keep you in people-pleasing mode, and that will just damage you, and that will ultimately ruin your reputation even more, because now you will have a reputation of someone that's people-pleasing, someone that's performative, and someone that's insincere, and that is not what we're trying to achieve with this level up, with this glow up, with upgrading our reputation. That is not the results that we are going for. Something that I do want to mention though is be sure that you're able to discern between feedback and noise, because sometimes people will give you genuine feedback on what it is that you're adding in your life to build your reputation or to upgrade your reputation. Know when you are getting constructive, helpful, loving feedback versus when someone is just committed, not helping you grow, or someone who wants to see you in low vibration or see you stuck in those old ways that you are trying to grow out of. Because the truth is, some people are committed to misunderstanding you, some people hold grudges, and some people just don't want to move on from things that have happened in the past, that they just want to stay there. Those people, if you keep trying to convince them, you keep going out of your way and doing the most to get them to see what you want to see, you will tire yourself out. You will burn yourself out. And as I mentioned, you'll be stuck in a people-pleasing mode, which will not help you or your reputation. And those that are committed to misunderstanding you, they're just enjoying the guilt that you're in. They're enjoying the shame that you're feeling. They just want to keep you in that low vibration, and these people are not helpful to you. They're toxic. And as I mentioned, take ownership of your part, apologize, rebrand, and then if they don't want to change from misunderstanding you, that is on them. You move on and continue with your life and continue upgrading and leveling up. That is your control, and you will be so much happier when you stay in your lane versus staying in somebody else's lane, going in their mind and trying to understand their mindset and trying to control their mind. That will keep you just in a bad place. And I'm sorry that I keep repeating it, but I just really want to emphasize this point, because it's so easy to fall into people pleasing when you're feeling guilt and shame for something that you have done. And then one more point that I want to mention on not forcing things is to also not force things within yourself. Do not force your healing. Do not force your leveling up. Do not force things that are not aligned to you, because again, you just don't want to get into performative behavior. Even if it's for yourself, you don't want to lie to yourself and say I'm healed when you're not. You don't want to say I'm okay when you are not. You don't want to say I enjoy doing this thing because I don't want to hurt this person further when you do not. Honor yourself and be sincere with yourself, because the worst thing you can do is force something or be in a performative stage, and while you are performing, things backfire, and then you have a negative addition to this already ruined reputation that you're trying to build. So let's say you're trying to pretend that you're someone who is okay with a specific behavior, and you exploded before when this behavior was happening from another person, and now you feel guilty, so you're in repair mode and you're just pretending to be okay with that behavior, and then they do it again and then you explode again. That will not help your reputation, because they will paint you as someone who is very reactive, when in reality you were not being honest with yourself and saying I don't like this. You were not being courageous in telling this person this is a boundary of mine that is being crossed, or whatever it is. So don't force things within yourself as well, because it will not end well ultimately. And this brings us to the third part of the video, which is how to be magnetic moving forward. And the first point is to watch the company that you keep. if you are repairing your reputation, and let's say, the example we spoke of earlier, let's say you were a party girl and you're trying to repair that reputation and upgrade your reputation, watch the company that you keep. This means upgrade your friend group, upgrade the environments that you go to, upgrade everything about your life, how you carry yourself at events. Be sure that it's not communicating the wrong things. Instead, it's communicating elegance and class. The conversation topics that you're having, again, the places where you're going, just things like that, because people will believe change behavior more than they will believe words. And this is the same way if you're someone who maybe you're not reactive or aggressive in how you present yourself, and those are the people that you hang out with the most. People will judge you based on who you are around. So as you repair your reputation and as you upgrade your reputation, I cannot emphasize this enough. Also, upgrade your social circle, upgrade where you go, everything about you externally and internally, because all these things are what will communicate. Changed behavior, changed reputation, upgraded, leveled up woman. Next is to speak up strategically, and I'm using the word strategically because I don't want me saying speaking up being interpreted as, just arguing everywhere that you can, but where it makes sense for you to speak up and correct people's perception of you, be sure that you're doing that. So for example, I'll give one that's personal for me. I was someone who would not speak up a lot, and I got used to other people speaking on my behalf. And as I started to level up and, just get on this journey of working on my communication, working on my femininity, and all these things, I remember having a conversation with someone and they were like, oh yeah, I could speak for you. And I remember saying, no, I could speak for myself. I am confident in speaking about this, that, the other, and I love speaking now. And the person was like, oh, okay, then you go ahead and speak. And that's an example of speaking up strategically. You're speaking up to change the perception. You're speaking up to enforce your boundaries. You're speaking up to communicate your standards. You're speaking up to protect your reputation. That's what I mean by strategically. Not just speaking up and getting into every argument, or speaking up to this person, speaking up to that person to where it loses its effect and people are just saying now she's become someone who just talks where it's unnecessary, or it just goes into a whole different wrong reputation. That is not what I mean by speaking up. So be sure that you're speaking up to protect your reputation and doing it with class and elegance as you do, rather than doing it in a negative or wrong way that would just communicate the wrong thing. The next step that I wanted to speak on is to proceed with caution. And what I mean by this point is that if you are someone that's on the receiving end of someone who's showing you that they are apologetic for what they may have done, they have changed their behavior and all these things, proceed with caution before truly trusting and giving your all and just fully allowing this person back in your life. Be sure to be patient and take the time to observe if they have truly transformed, if they have truly changed, and that they will not hurt you or betray you or do whatever it is that ruined the friendship that you had with them, the relationship that you had with them, or whatever it is. Because you never want to allow someone back in your life who is in a performing mode, someone who's just saying all the right things to get back in your good graces and they have not truly changed. So I wanted to add this reminder because yes, we're speaking about us repairing and upgrading our reputation, but also other people may be wanting to do the same. Just be sure that you are truly sure they have changed before you allow them and give them access to yourself, because there's nothing worse than trusting someone who has not truly changed or someone who was just pretending and they hurt you or do the same thing again. It's so irritating, it's so annoying, and just save yourself the trouble by being patient and truly taking the time to observe, taking notes, and proceeding with caution. And then another reminder that I want to say is that reputation work isn't about fixing your image to be understood, shrinking to be tolerated, chasing approval. It is about embodying a version of you that no longer needs to explain herself. You show up as a healed, divine version of you that people feel without having to be convinced of it. So always remember that as you are upgrading or repairing your reputation, it is not about shrinking yourself or chasing approval. It's one of the worst things that you can do to yourself, to your feminine energy, to your life, to your reputation, and everything else about you. This is about upgrading and becoming the best version of who you can be, and that should always be the goal and mission. Another reminder that I want to mention is that as you are upgrading your reputation, just be mindful that some people will fall out of your life, because as you are upgrading yourself, there are some people who are just committed to old habits that are no longer serving, because there are just some people who are committed to old habits that are toxic, negative. Some people just do not want to develop themselves. They just refuse to grow. And again, some people just want to misunderstand you. They just committed to that. And those are the people that will likely fall out of your life as you upgrade your reputation, as you upgrade your life and yourself. And one of the examples I can give is that as you are growing and falling into your feminine energy, you're maturing and all these things, you are likely to speak less, you're likely to explain less, you are likely to tolerate less. And this is because as you develop more wisdom, you start to understand that your energy is best used in places that help you level up, versus using all that energy, time, and strength arguing with people who just enjoy arguing, or trying to explain something to people who just do not have the vision of what it is that you're trying to explain. They simply will not get it, no matter how much you paint the picture for them. Some people are just committed to being blind. Some people are just committed to negativity, to toxicity. And as you get on your level up journey, you start to understand who is worth spending time explaining something to, who is not worth spending time explaining something to. And that is what I mean. You will naturally let go of the people who are not worth explaining to, because they're just committed to their old ways that are negative and toxic. And you will instead level up and start to add people who are on the same path of healing and growing and becoming better. So the point that I'm making is that these people who are negative and toxic and just refuse to grow or upgrade, they will perceive you as someone that's being arrogant, someone that's being distant, someone that's being cold. Most times, those people will misunderstand what it is that you're actually doing, and they will mistake your leveling up. They will mistake you thinking differently and you being in a different state as something negative, because that's just the mindset they are in. They refuse to see the positivity, they refuse to see the growth, and they refuse to believe that this is you just wanting better for yourself and your life. And one quick example I can give is on femininity. If you're someone who maybe didn't care about how you used to dress, you didn't care about how you stepped outside the house, when you start to upgrade your reputation and you start to care about how you dress, you start wearing flowy dresses that are so beautiful, you start wearing suits and showing up in a professional way, or whatever it is, you just show up as an upgraded self. Even if it's the weekend, you actually get up, shower, and get dressed. Some people will judge you and say, why are you dressing like this? Why are you doing that? Where are you going? Who are you going to see? They just cannot believe that you are now someone who enjoys dressing up, and you're not that old version of you who didn't care how you showed up. And instead, with their negative mindset, they'll start judging you as someone who's being pretentious, someone who thinks they're better than everybody else, when in reality, you just want to dress up for yourself because you feel good. So just be mindful that as you repair your reputation and as you upgrade your reputation, people who are committed to misunderstanding you will misunderstand you. It's what they do, it's what they enjoy doing. So expect it and don't let them stop you from being on the path that you are on. And then as you're working on your reputation repair, just remind yourself that being harder on yourself, just remember that being harder on yourself will not repair your reputation. Being harder on yourself will not change the outcome or the events or what it is that you have done in the past. And being harder on yourself as you are repairing your reputation, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work, trying to figure out what you want to add as part of your rebrand and what you do not want to add. Do not be hard on yourself as you are in this discovery journey, as you are in this transformation journey. Being harder on yourself will only keep you in a negative mental space. It will only keep you in a negative emotional space, and this will result in you getting negative results. when something doesn't work, celebrate that, because you now know what should not be added as part of your rebrand, and instead start to be curious about finding out what does. That is what will keep you motivated, disciplined, and consistent in the journey. And then lastly, I had to add this one, but journaling. There's a power in journaling. I will always speak about it. I will always speak about it as much as I can. Journal so that you can truly understand what it is that you need to repair or upgrade about your reputation. Those 6 categories that we discussed in the first part of the video, journal about it based on the specific event or situation that you are trying to recover from or upgrade from. Journal what it is that you want. Journal what the rebrand looks like. Start to visualize what the rebranded version of you looks like, because again, that is how you will stay working on facts rather than limiting beliefs, fears, other people's opinions, and all these things that will not help you or that will prolong your journey unnecessarily. So journal to truly understand yourself, the situation, and actually understand the outcome that you desire. And then before you speak to somebody, let's say you're on the taking ownership and you're preparing to apologize, journal so that you are apologizing and speaking to them about facts, the things that you actually did do or didn't do, not what other people did. You're speaking to them about things that actually truly impacted them, because it shows that you reflected as you are apologizing, because you understand how you hurt them or how you affected their life. That will speak volumes when it shows that you've taken the time to truly reflect and you're not just talking to talk. And then also start to journal on the things that you will no longer do that brought you to this place where you have to reputation repair. So these are 3 questions to ask yourself before speaking to somebody. My reputation was damaged because ... The part I take responsibility for is ... The behavior I will no longer repeat is ... And when you've journaled those 3 questions, you have your answers, you have your facts, and you know what you need to bring up. This is when you go and speak to the person, and that is how you start to reputation repair, and then do the rebrand so that your reputation upgrade, and then focus on the rebrand so that you upgrade your reputation. So that is all that I had for this video. I am sorry if it was too long. There was just a lot that I wanted to input in it. Reputations are so important, and we need to do our best to repair them where we can, to upgrade and maintain our positive high reputation each and every time. It is so imperative. And it's also important that we take the time to protect our reputation. So I'm sorry again if the video was too long, but I do hope that it was informative and helpful. And as I mentioned in the beginning, if there are any topics that you want me to speak on, definitely let me know. Reach out. As long as it's aligned with the content of this channel, I would definitely create it, because my goal with this channel is to create videos that are impactful, informative, and videos that help us grow and transform. And I love creating them for you as well as for me, because I am learning as much as you are with these videos. I am growing as much as you are with these videos. Inner work never ends. Leveling up never ends. Knowledge and being wise never ends. There's always something new to learn. There's always something new to discover. There's so many adventures and things that life is bringing towards us that we need to reflect on, grow from, and just enjoy. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.